is enough said.
What's up, Heat Nation? Yo, boy Ernest here, back with another Miami Heat Talk video, giving y'all a second video of the day, so please show support by liking the video. Don't forget to subscribe and click that notification bell to get all your boys' updates. Now that we got that out the way, you know what time it is. Let's go on another Miami Heat Talk adventure. Now, in this episode, you guys, we are talking about the potential of Miami Heat adding a backup center on this roster. I did an episode earlier today. If you haven't seen it, go check it out after this one. But we basically talked about what the Miami Heat can do next. And on that episode, I broke down for you guys what exceptions the Miami Heat have left. A few of you were in my comments yesterday saying that you heard that the Miami Heat no longer have the mid-level exception. That's not true. The Miami Heat, even with the trade, even taking back $8 million more from the Norman Powell trade, they still stayed under the first apron tax line. This is why Andy Ellsberg is one of the best capologist numbers in the NBA. He knows exactly where to put this roster, because when he made that trade, he left the Miami Heat $4 million under the first apron line. And with Tyler Hero's incentive, it kept the Miami Heat about $1.8 million under the first apron line. Ladies and gentlemen, the Miami Heat fleeced these teams when it came to the trade, because when you stayed under the first apron line, you kept your exceptions. The Miami Heat still have a $14.1 million mid-level exception, and they have a $5.1 million biannual exception. They also have a roster space available. Now that they let go of both Kyle Anderson and Kevin Love in this trade, they have 14 players guaranteed on this roster. So there's 4 players I want to talk about for a potential signing. Now, this first player would be the perfect option. I honestly just don't think it's going to happen, but the Heat can make a play, and we're talking about Al Horford. And there's a few reasons why I don't think it's going to work. One, Al Horford is already in talks with several teams like the Warriors and other teams, so he's looking to make his decision. He's already met with these teams. Also, Horford and the Heat, big-ass rivalry with the Boston and the Miami Heat team. So the fact that he comes down here, or is entertaining the idea to come down here, I don't know. But he fits. I mean, the guy last season, even though he's 40 years old, he averaged 9 points a game, 6.2 rebounds a game. He averaged 36% from the three-point line, 42% from the field. He's exactly who the Miami Heat need. A backup center that's a big body, can rebound, and can hit the three-point shot. With Kel'el Ware, Bam Adebayo, and Nikola Jovic as your power rotation, it's good, but you would still like to have a big body, a rebounder, because Jovic is a point forward. He's a big body, but he's not really a big type of player. He's a point forward type of player. It's great to have, but you'd still like a bruiser down low to come off the bench. Not to play 82 games, but a guy to be there for 50 to 60 games and give you what you need, especially the nights that, Bam, Ware, Jovic may not play. Al Horford last year made $9.5 million. I can easily see the Miami Heat offer him a 1-year, $8 to $10 million contract simply because you're competing with other teams. Horford fits, but I think Horford wants to go somewhere where they have like championship aspirations. This Miami Heat team, even though they're going to compete, they're not the favorites to win a championship. The next person you have would be a return. You also have Precious Achiuwa sitting there in free agency. This was a guy that the Miami Heat took in the 2020 NBA draft. Last season with the Knicks, averaged 6.6 points a game, 5.6 rebounds, almost a block a game, 50% from the field. He did average about 28% from the three-point line, but he's not really known as a shooter. He did make $6 million last year, so this is easily someone that you can slide in. I used to call him Baby Bam. His game is very similar to Bam Adebayo. He's a small power forward center, but this is a guy that if he's coming off the bench for Kel'el Ware and Bam Adebayo, it fits. He knows the system. He's played with this team before. He has a relationship with Bam, Tyler, and Spo, and you can easily give him a 1-year, 2-year contract. You can give him a 2-year contract for about $12 million. The second year can be a team option. This gives you flexibility to keep him on the roster for cap space. I think Precious Achiuwa would be a really good fit. The third option, you guys, would be Chris Boucher from the Toronto Raptors. Now, he's known as a power forward slash center, but I think he fits with this roster. You know, last season he averaged 10 points a game, 4.5 rebounds, almost 50% from the field, 36% from the three-point line on only 17 minutes per game. You know, he gives you exactly what you need off the bench, like I mentioned. You know, what I think the perfect center coming off the bench for the Miami Heat would be is a guy that can rebound, can hit threes to space the floor, and can be a bruiser down low, and also give you some great defense. Boucher does all three. Now, he's not the best when it comes defensively, but this is a guy that can hold his own. Now, the fourth option would be to not sign anyone and to give Vlad Goldin an opportunity. And we're going to have to wait to see how he does and finishes with Summer League. But Vlad Goldin is a 7'1" bruiser down low. He's not known for his three-point shots. But this is a guy that you can bring off the bench for about 10 to 12 minutes a game. He can rebound, he can score in the paint, and he can block shots. This Miami Heat team before we drafted Kel'el Ware was one of the worst teams when it came to defensive presence on the paint. Now, if you have Kel'el Ware and Vlad Goldin, you have two guys that could protect the paint and make it very difficult for teams offensively. So, Heat Nation, I want to hear from you. Al Horford, Chris Boucher, Precious Achiuwa, or Vlad Goldin. Do you think one of these are the true answers as a backup center on this roster? Or maybe you think it's someone else. Maybe Marvin Bradley, Daniel Theus. I don't see it, but you guys let me know in the comments what you think. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe as we push for 7,000 subscribers. Thank you guys so much for the continued support. And until next time, your boy Ernest out, and that is enough said.